God by many names, love from many hearts. Come inside, you don't have to hide, you're perfect as you are. You're already not alone, welcome home. God by many names, love from many hearts. Come inside, you don't have to hide, you're perfect as you are. You're already not alone, welcome home. God by many names, love from many hearts. Come inside, you don't have to hide, you're perfect as you are. You're already not alone, welcome home. God by many names, love from many hearts. Come inside, you don't have to hide, you're perfect as you are. You're already not alone, welcome home. You're already not alone, welcome home.
Everyone, ooh, a little hot, little hot, little cold, little hot. We're going to play Goldilocks, just right. Is that just right? Can you guys hear me in the back? Not that I really need this because I'm Italian. You can hear me without it. But good morning, CSL St. George. How are we? Excellent. Nice turnout today. As you know, we have our annual meeting, and to me, that just signifies that we're ready for another year and we're ready to grow and evolve. So thank you for being here very much. Is there anyone here that is here for the first time or maybe just in a long time that would like to be recognized?
This is my friend Paula.
Hi, Paula. Well, I don't have to ask how you found out about us. That's good. Well, welcome. And Rick has a little gift that we hand out. It's a previous version of our Science of Mind magazine, which is handed out, well, actually now it's, was it bi-monthly? Is that how you would say it? Every 2 months? Bi-monthly? Yeah. Semi-monthly. I am corrected by the grammar artist. Thank you. Thank you. And in that, first of all, let us give a round of applause to the ever-shrinking musician known as Alan Stanley. I just want to point out, Alan has really taken upon himself over the last good year to take upon our spiritual principles and practices and pay attention to himself, and it is absolutely paying off, my friend. Congratulations. Yes. All right, we have Marina doing our video and streamcasts. So everybody at home, let's thank Marina. And we have Christy on sound. And if you help, see, we had Diana and Donna and Bill helped. Anybody else in the morning? That's enough. Oh. Anna, oh yeah, Anna at our greeting table, Sue at our greeting table. So hey, this doesn't happen without our volunteers, so thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your giving and your support. And what we'd like to do now, seeing that we're talking about meeting and greeting, is why don't we just spend a few minutes? I'm going to ask you to get up and say hello to someone you know and maybe someone you don't know as well. And maybe even one of the volunteers and thank them for being here. we could return to our seats, please. That's not mine. We have a cell phone up for sale? No, just kidding. All right. Well, now that we're feeling togetherness, why don't we raise the spirits with another song by Alan? You're up, sir.
It starts in your heart like a warm summer breeze, gently at first like the wind through the trees. Slowly it moves you until you can see that it starts in your very own heart. The feeling you want is more near than you know. Not to be found in the places you go. It's only inside the soul, and it starts in your very own heart. What is real is what you can feel. What makes it start is your very own heart. It starts to move in as you feel your heart beat, and opens the door to a world you can't see. Brings you back home where we all want to be, and it starts in your very own heart. What is most real is what you can feel. What makes it start is your very own heart. It starts to move in as you feel your heart grow. Opens the door to a world that you stole. Brings you back home where we all want to be, and it starts in your very own heart. Your very own heart. Your very own heart. Thank you.
Our very own heart, that sacred energy center that we all have. We are now going to celebrate all traditions as we like to do with Centers of Spiritual Living. And we're going to perform what we call the Flames of Faith ceremony. When you hear the bell, we're going to ask you just to pause and or take a breath. We perform the Flames of Faith ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples and all things, all beings, come from one great universal presence, which, among many names, we like to call Spirit. We first light the unity candle, which represents the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light a candle acknowledging Centers for Spiritual Living and all forms of new thought, the metaphysical path of a personal relationship of healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. We light the next candle honoring inclusivity, affirming that those that are seeking a stronger knowing and understanding of divine love are welcome here. There is nothing outside of God. You are welcome here. We now light the healing candle and invite you silently to offer into the flame of the light the names of loved ones, knowing that they are now and always the perfect expression of Spirit's eternal wholeness and love. Knowing that all is well and must be well, we affirm it by saying, and so it is.
In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace. In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace. And I trust and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment there is peace. In the stillness of this moment there is love. There is love. In the stillness of this moment there is love. There is love, and I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment there is love, sweet love, love, sweet love, love, sweet love.
Join me in affirmative prayer where we know that what we think and what we believe is what we will manifest. I love to meet like this. I love to feel the spirit that is in this place, that is now holy ground as we meet here, as we join in love, as we celebrate together. And I know that spirit is with us wherever we are, in, around, and through each of us. I know that that spirit guides, protects, sends love through angels and entities that are serving us, that are communicating with us, watching over us. I am grateful for our philosophy, for the truths, for the acceptance that we have of all people and where they are on the path of spirituality and the journey back home. I am grateful today for our minister, Rev Joe, knowing his message will touch hearts right where we are and right what we need at the time. I see these messages going out over the internet to reach others who are seeking more joy, more friendship, more love in their lives. In gratitude for all that we enjoy on this beautiful day, I release my word knowing it is done. It is, and together we say, and so it is. Amen.
In the stillness of this moment, I feel love. I feel love. In the stillness of this moment, I feel love. I feel love. And I rest and touch and breathe. I know that in the stillness of this moment, I feel love. In the stillness of this moment, I am peace. I am peace. In the stillness of this moment, I am peace. I am peace. And I rest and trust and breathe. I know that in the stillness of this moment, I am peace, I am love. In the stillness of this moment, I am peace, I am love. I am peace, I am love. I am.
Happy to be back with you. So, good morning. This Sunday finds us between Lent, which is finding forgiveness for sins that we don't believe we have, Passover, a Jewish miracle after spreading lamb's blood on doorstops that we would never consider doing, and today, Palm Sunday. Now, there's one we could participate in, as there are plenty of palm fronds in St. George. I make light of these holy days, but in truth, I have the utmost respect for each religion and the beliefs that each of these beautiful stories have come from. To stay in keeping with our CSL theme for April, I would like to share a page from Jafan Seeley's article in our magazine this month. It's titled Sacred Sewing, Not Sewing with a Needle. In the same way that we prepare our garden beds in the spring with a rake, a tiller, or a shovel, we can venture into the sacredness of our inner gardens and tend to the sacred soil that dwells within us. That soil has accumulated nutrients since your first ancestor walked this earth. That inner soil gathered nutrients from the variety of experiences that you've had in this life. All of those experiences bring something valuable and are deposited into this soil, which you can use to grow anything you'd like. Till this inner soil, grasp those seeds of potential, your gifts, your greatness, and see the beauty within them. Sow them gratefully into this inner garden, knowing with absolute certainty, in the same way you grow tomatoes, cucumbers, or watermelons, that if you tend to these seeds and support their growth through consistent care and attention, they will grow and produce. So it is for the seeds you sow within yourself. Know with deep faith and assurance that you can unfurl, grow, and become anything you like. As you reflect on your inner garden, ask yourself, what seeds of potential will I choose to plant today? Trust that your inner soil, abundant with divine nourishment, holds all you need to create the life you desire. But you are the sower. You tend to the garden. Your soil, filled with the infinite, will produce what you seek to experience. The question then becomes, what will you intentionally and consciously grow? I wish you happy spring and happy gardening. Namaste.
Thank you, Sue. Now, this one's a little faster than the other one, so if you feel like it, you're welcome to stand up and jump around like a Pentecostal Holy Roller meeting. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loves you and I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, from every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in honor of the love in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love.
Thank you, Alan. That was uplifting. Does that feel good to you? Excellent, excellent. That's the whole idea. We come together. That's a nice New Thought classic there. And I like it because they say, namaste, I bow to you. I love that part. Take a breath with me, will you? Ready? Let's anchor in together. I'm going to feed off of you today. So our talk title enough, you're old enough to know that Electric Company song. Is it Sesame Street? Could be. Okay, well, I'm just saying. That's a groovy tune. All right, are you picking me up now? Or I have to get closer. I'm going to eat this. All right. We'll get there. I promise. You're along for the ride whether you like it or not, right? It's kind of like you're at 40,000 feet, people. You just got to listen to me talk now, and you're stuck till we land. All right. So one of my points is the idea is no matter how successful we are in the moment or unsuccessful, we are right now.
I'm not here.
He's not there. Just nothing to see here. There's no one behind the screen. I'm going. All right. 2 mics. 1 mic, 2 mic, check, check. Here we go. You know what? I'm just going to go to the first slide because it's going to ground me back. So we have a quote by James Clear, there we go, who says, your outcomes are a lagging measure of your habits. Your net worth is a lagging measure of your financial habits. Your knowledge is a lagging measure of your learning habits. Your clutter is a lagging measure of your cleaning habits. You get what you repeat. So it's a good reminder to recognize. Think about before the pilots take off in the jet. They have a series of steps that they go through every single time so they know what the experience will be. Now, as we're going through and maybe we find ourselves off course, one of the important things that we talk a lot about is not to try to change the results in this now moment, right? In other words, it's kind of like, I use the analogy a lot, going to the movie screen to change the movie. We have to go within to make the course correction. And that takes where our spiritual practices and principles come into play. So call it God, call it the universe, call it spirit, call it Buddha, call it Yahweh, whatever you like to call it. What I know, and I'm going to call it source in this moment, that source did not put us on this earth incomplete. In fact, we are absolutely complete, for we are all of source. So therefore, source could not, if it wanted to, create something less than itself. So we are perfect expressions of that divine source. Yet, of course, what do we have? Not only our perfection, but in this moment, we have our existence. We have our free will. We have our conscious awareness, no matter how we say how small that is or how great that is. We know it's an infinitude anyway, so no matter where we are, there's room to grow. We have our individual connection. I'm going to use the word individualized because we are all of this one mind, one divine mind. And how we use it kind of determines, in whole and part, where we end up. And also, is where this idea of source comes from, is this is where we source all of our ideas from. All those ways. So when we kind of have this vision and ideas, we tend to get stuck sometimes because we're not sure. But what we are sure and know must be is the perfect path is already known in the mind of God. And sometimes when we have our own individual vision, we also accumulate other people's human ideas of what that looks like. That may be helpful, and sometimes that may not be helpful. And again, as we're continuing to course correct throughout our journey, okay, that will become more and more apparent of when to follow another's advice, recognizing that they too are of the divine nature, and when not to, because this is all up to us. This individualized journey is up to us in the moment. Now, at the same time, let us not forget as we gather, and even when we don't gather, yes, we are all of one whole consciousness on this planet, including the planet itself holds its own consciousness. And I don't think there was a better example of that than when we went through COVID. And it was amazing when we kind of got out of the way how fast the planet began to fix itself and right itself. It's a beautiful example of the perfection of the divine at work and through higher levels of consciousness. So visioning beyond the horizon, which really encourages us to imagine the unlimited possibilities that we have each and every day. And it's funny because just the other day I was at work, I was going through a moment, and that thought came into my head. In essence, there was something coming up, and my immediate reaction was, oh, this place, yet again. And then I'm like, but Joe, you have infinite possibilities. You know this. And then I heard myself say, but you're not using the power of that. And so in the moment, I was frustrated, and I did a practice which I haven't done in a while, which was, you know what? You take this, Spirit. I'm handing it over. Because if I get involved, I'm just going to end up getting PO'd and upset, and I know I'm not going to end up where I want to on that course. And when I did that, that feeling of release came in, where you're like, ooh, like God bumps. And I was like, oh, Joe did a good one. All right, I did something right. And on that path. And then I continued to course correct as other things kept showing up as people around me, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. You got to deal with this, and there could be lawsuits involved, and I was like, I got a perfect source that's taking care of all of this. And so we had the meeting on Friday, and guess what? Not a big deal whatsoever. Everything just kind of went on pace, and I'm going to do what I normally do, and it's not going to turn out to be a big deal. And then I did something I don't always do too. Is in that moment I recognized that I ended up where I wanted to be, that the vision I held, even though that was a shorter vision, it was very important to me. I celebrated, and I said thank you in that moment. And then too did I feel the God bumps. And it reminded me of how it can be that easy. And I also realized more times than not, I'm not willing to necessarily do those steps. And that's just something that we have to get consistent with. And that's why our spiritual practices daily are so important. We often think what we know what we want, and then we get excited about that. Something new comes into our awareness. We have a new blip on the horizon, and that fills us with that inspiration, that motivation, that burning desire. And then sometimes, even though that we know that that is going to absolutely change our lives for magnificent reasons, we kind of lose that desire. We kind of get off track. And I want to talk about one of the great examples that I remind myself and I share with you. And it's an example from the teachings of Abraham and Esther Hicks. And they give this idea that I'm driving from, we could say, to St. George to L.A. And we're driving along the way, and what I know is that in truth, even in the dark, as long as I can see the next 100, 200 yards ahead, that I'm going to end up in L.A. if I'm on the right path. But what happens is along the way, we see our desire, we see our vision, we know it's happening, and then we kind of like, oh my God, there's a new store at Walmart in Bakersfield. And then we pull off and we get distracted. And then there's this and we get distracted. And along the way, and then we're like, how long is this going to take? This is taking a really long time. And I keep looking at the map, and I'm not there yet, and I'm not there yet. And sooner or later I go, I'm just going to turn around and go home. It's an easier trip. Well, I don't know what happened to Los Angeles, but I'm going back home where I'm comfortable. And it's really what we do quite often for a number of reasons, right? What makes ourselves off of the desire that initially really felt that burning desire with? What might be a reason? Poor health. Tell me more.
Like if a person got really sick, all of a sudden they'd be like, okay, I'm not going to grad school right now.
Okay. So something, I won't necessarily call that a sidetrack, but a different experience came up for us. So absolutely, that can happen, that we were drawn into one avenue, and our higher self is like, well, we got to take care of something else first to clear that up. Absolutely. That happens. Sue. Ah, yes. In the beginning, though, where is that doubt and fear, right? We don't have any initially because we just get so fired up. We just know we're going to will it through. I saw your hand. Yes, Charles.
Uncertainty. That objective is not as important to us as we thought it was.
Everybody hear that? So that objective, just so online, is not as important to us as we thought it was. Sometimes it is, and we're still distracted because there's an underlying, going back to fear and doubt, that makes that scarier than our fear and doubt. Hear that. That's pretty deep. So in other words, we're always going to go away from the greatest fear. So even though I want that, there's something in my head that says having that is going to be scarier than dealing with the pain and anguish and trauma that I have here. That's usually when we're too attached to what that is. I saw somebody's hand go up. Yes, sir.
Trump gets elected.
What about Trump getting elected?
And all the uncertainty and your finances, maybe your job, potentially Social Security, your investment, that what you had as a structure has possibly become completely uncertain.
So that's a different level of fear. Thank you very much, dear. That can come up because we're paying attention. And it's important too. Let's not just slough off and spiritually bypass and say things on the outside are not important. They absolutely are. But we need to hold perspective. And when we're in that fear, we have our spiritual practices. One of the best and easiest is meditation that will bring our set point back down into truth and hold the truth no matter what it appears on the outside, no matter who is elected, no matter even where you're at. To me, that's no different than sitting in the middle of traffic in LA where I could just lose my mind. And I know that when I slow down my breathing and I go within, traffic starts moving every single time. And you think I would have the practice down enough to just go with the flow. Who had their hand up here? Yes, ma'am? Lack of patience. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, that instant gratification. This is one of the biggest killers of our dreams right here because I got to go play Candy Crush or whatever. What am I playing now? Archer or something? And I say, it's just to kill time. Why? Well, just listen to those words. Why would I want to kill time? There's so many beautiful things I can do, right? And yes, one more. Rick? Something shiny and new, right? So the question is, how aligned am I with this new vision, with the bigger shiny and new that I believe is my next best thing? It fills me full of goodness. It fills me full of hope. It fills me full of love. And what can I do to take those steps? I'm going to share a quote from Ernest Holmes, and you're going to hear parts of it. I'm going to break it down because so what he says is, it's easy to believe that God is perfect. We must also believe that spiritual human is perfect. And since it is difficult to believe that the objective human is perfect, we must confine our statements to a realization of the spiritual perfection of humans. We must remain faithful to this vision, for a realization of the presence of God is the secret power of our work. I'm going to simplify that in, as we believe in the fact that the power of the source of spirit flows to and through us, which is the creative power itself, then no matter what it is that we are creating, and we are always creating, that is proof that the presence of God is here and now. We lose sight of that all the time. We also lose sight of the idea that when we get to that shiny new thing, it is always the experience that makes it that much more grand. Yes? For when we get to that, almost to the top of the hill, we kind of already know we're going to get there. So when we get to the top, yes, it's a satisfaction, but it's that some of that zest of the wow, like I can't believe it's going to happen, to it's going to happen, to here I am. And that's what this, I believe, Ernest quote is saying, is the more that we believe in ourselves and the perfection of God, the perfection in ourselves as being human and human beings, the perfection doesn't wear away. And that's really what we're rediscovering. So I want to share a story that you may have seen. It's in a movie was made, and the movie is called Rudy. It's about a young man who had a dream to play football for Notre Dame. He was born of a working class family. The family all worked in a factory. The dad was a diehard Notre Dame football fan, and so they would sit around and watch TV together, the games, and that's where he found his love. He loved them so much back in the days when they had record players. Rudy actually had a recording of one of the famous talks from their coach, and memorized it. And he would do that for his friends because he wasn't the best of athletes either, although he tried his best, and he loved it. he would tell everybody that one day I'm going to play football for Notre Dame. And they looked at him because he was kind of an F and a D student in school. He wasn't very athletic. They let him play because he had 3 other brothers, and they just let him play, but he was usually given the lower responsibilities during the game. He graduated high school. He did play some high school football, but he realized that was, his buddies would say, that's as far as we're going to go. And he would say, no, I'm going to play for Notre Dame football. And they're going to like, okay, Rudy, you're the dreamer. And some supported him, particularly his family would laugh at him. He began working in the factory and kind of finding that comfortable life, still holding on to that dream, but finding also that he was getting pulled. He had a girlfriend who wanted to buy a house, and it didn't sit right with him. And then tragedy struck in his life, which it also often does. And his best friend, who was his biggest believer, and actually had just before that, for the birthday before that, bought him a Notre Dame football jacket because he believed in him. He died in an accident at the factory, and this altered Rudy's life. That carpe diem type of moment. I have to do this now. And so he left the comfort of home. He left the comfort of his girlfriend and everything he knew, and just left and went to Notre Dame. And initially, it was closed, and they're like, well, you can't be here. So they sent him to this place down the road, which ended up being, they misunderstood when he said, I want to be at Notre Dame. They thought they meant the cathedral, and they had him talk to a priest because they thought he wanted to enter the priesthood. Right? So again, a little misguided, but that's where he found somebody that also was willing to invest in his dream. And he got him into, his grades weren't good enough to get into the university, so he got him into the junior college down the road. And yet, he still saw himself playing for Notre Dame. He's not even in a university yet, but he went on Notre Dame campus, and he met people, and he tried to volunteer for things because he's a student at Notre Dame, because he plays football for Notre Dame. He gets his grades up, but it took him almost 2 full years to get his grades up. He kept getting denied and denied and denied until he was finally accepted. He even went ahead of time the year before he was accepted and told that coach that was there, by the way, I don't go here, but I'm going to play for you, and I want to have that opportunity. That takes a lot of moxie, but that also takes a lot of vision, a strong vision of daily calculating where he is at and not allowing all the naysayers to distract him. We said the shiny things, the lack of patience. It was tough for him. He got a tutor. He got people that believed in him on campus. And yes, eventually, he was on the team. He made what's called the practice squad. And what that is you get the crap beat out of you on a daily basis because you're playing the other team's defense, so your first starting offense gets to just pummel you day in and day out. And he loved it. He said, I'll do anything I have to. And he was short. He was not a football player statue. But one of the coaches believed that. His work ethic was like no one else's there. Long story short, in the end, he had 2 plays, and his whole team, all the seniors, basically said, so you can't be listed as an official player unless you play a game and suit up. And the current coach, other than the coach that he originally talked to left, and there was a new coach, and he was like, I'm not having any of that, hahoo. And yet all the seniors backed because they understood Rudy's job and how well he practiced that made them better. And so they all said, Coach, if you don't put him in, I'm going to sit out. And so coach is finally fine, let him get in. So then they're in the game, and they get up, and there's only I think there was less than a minute left, and they're like, the whole stand starts chanting, well, they had him chant Rudy because they wanted to get Rudy in the game. So finally, he puts Rudy in the game. He's in there for the first play, and nothing big happens, and the second play, he sacked the quarterback. This little guy was playing defensive end, got by the starting quarterback, defensive or offensive guard, and sacked the quarterback. And he was, as far as I know, still to date, the only person that has ever been carried off that field on shoulders. That's a perfect example of holding that vision. He did everything right. Now, that's the Hollywood movie, and I'm sure there was along the way where he wanted to quit. In fact, I hesitate to say there was one point, and again, I could talk about the movie all day, but where he did quit, and then he went back because of a mentor who was like, what are you thinking? You've gone this far. But that's our life too. We have these dreams and aspirations, and some of them we just headstrong, and there is nothing that's going to stop us. And then there's other ones where we do turn off the road. We do get distracted. Going back to the analogy of driving to LA, here's the beautiful part. If I'm on the wrong road, there are always signs along the way when I decide to become consciously aware enough to get me back on and say, oh, by the way, I'm on Route 25. I need to be on 15 South. That is what Source does, because Source is everything and everyone, and as we tap into that, there is no place that it could not somehow assist us in experiencing what we want to experience at our highest level. So some of the things that I want to get out of that story. One, I believe that story invites us to dream bigger, to look further than we ever have before, and to recognize that we are capable of achieving that dream. Also, goes back to consciously and daily aligning our actions and intentions toward that vision that we have. To recognize and release the limiting beliefs and fear, that's crucial. That comes with the last part, which is simply incorporating our spiritual steps and practices. Meditation, visioning. Now, visioning in and of itself is a practice. I think 2 months ago, I went through one type of visioning. It's a deep inner reflection of quiet time, but there's not to be specific. There are questions. It's time to ask questions and listen, and do this while you're not beating yourself up. We're doing this in order to recognize that we're somewhere that we're making peace with, and yet there's another greater becoming of us that is coming through us. So let me end with this. How can we get started? There's a guy in a factory, let's say his name is Joe. And Joe has a wheelbarrow and a box in it, and he's heading out the door to the parking lot. And the security guard looks at Joe and he's like, what you got in the box, Joe? And Joe's just like, oh, it's a box of sawdust. That's strange. The guard kind of looks around. You mind if I take a look at it, Joe? He goes, go ahead. And so the guy goes through and he finds exactly that, a box full of sawdust. And while he can't figure out why, he asks him, what's with the sawdust? And he's like, well, we just got done doing a whole bunch of wood cutting, and there's a bunch of sawdust, and I work at home. I use it in my garden, and I use it for other things around the house. And he's like, okay. And then he lets him go. And Joe continues to do this for about a week. And it's killing the security guard because he's just, I know he's doing something. I can't figure it out. So finally he stops Joe again, and he says, Joe, look, there's no one else around. I know you're stealing something. I can't for the life of me figure out. If you tell me what it is, I won't ask you anymore. I won't get you in trouble. And Joe says, okay, I'm stealing wheelbarrows. We get so preoccupied with the little shiny packages in life that we kind of miss some of the big things that are happening. So again, this is why our daily spiritual practices is important. So we become aware of the wheelbarrows that are disappearing from our life or that are being thrown into our life and adding weight and pressure and negative energies where we don't need them. So, let me check the time because I do want to move forward. Okay, we're good. If I had time, I was going to do a little visioning thing for our center. But what I'm going to ask you to do is to pay attention to the emails. I'm going to give Marina a couple dates where if we're up online, we'll do some visioning for our center, and we'll start with kind of some practicing and what that looks like and feels like. So even if you've never done it before, please join us, because here's the bottom line. If we're going to create I'm not going to say if we're going to, we're in it now. As we continue to evolve, we're going to do this together as a community. Yes? Yes. All right. We do have an affirmation, and there it is. We usually practice this together, so if you would, please stand up. We'll say it together twice, technically, once just to get it out of our mouths, and the second time a little more energy. So, we'll say it together on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. I set my sights beyond the horizon, aligning my intentions with a future I desire. Okay, now we know the words. Let's take a breath. 3, 2, 1. I set my sights beyond the horizon Aligning my intentions with the future I desire. Say that again. With the future I desire. One more time. With the future I desire and deserve. And so it is. All right, let's anchor this in prayer. Have a seat, please. What I know to be true is that there is one great and only one beautiful, loving, joyful source. And I am aware of it in this moment, and I am aware of it acting through and as me and each one that is listening, each one that is hearing my voice. In fact, it is everything that is being expressed in this reality. And that is exciting. And I lock that truth in my mind, and I look for that truth to be expressed everywhere, no matter what is showing itself, no matter what I am watching on TV or who the president is or is not, no matter what is on my table or in my fridge or not, no matter what the doctor has said or not, I know that I come to this experience absolutely with all that I need, complete and whole, and I cannot leave less. So I enjoy this experience to the fullest, knowing that nothing can take anything away from who I am. For I am the divine expression, perfect expression. My joy is expressing my unique vision of life, of God, of love, and also watching as others allow that through them. That is a life well lived. I hold my vision on the horizon and know that one day, at the perfect time, in the perfect way, it will be met. And even when I'm distracted, that is quite all right. That is part of being human, and that is something that I can learn and challenge myself to overcome, and all along the way, meet beautiful people as well. There is nothing that is happening outside of God. Everything is a beautiful happening. There are no mistakes or mistakes. That is just a myth. We are all doing the best we can with what we have and where we're at in the truth that God is all, and so it is. Amen. And so, I would like to introduce someone who I believe is a perfect example of reaching their visions and serving and allowing the best and highest of God to come through them. Sue Fulmer, will you join me up here, please? You can join us as the president. Can you, for a moment? We'll just let it ride. So we want to take a moment to honor our beloved Sue, and we got her a plaque because Sue's term has ended with us on the core council. So let us give her a big round. How many years in the end? 6 years, 2 terms. And what this says is presented to Sue Fulmer in gratitude for generosity of spirit, outstanding leadership, and service to our community and its purpose, Centers for Spiritual Living St. George.
Thank you.
So, yes, please. Sue has been our historian. Is that what we call it? Secretary, okay. And she does thank God she was a former teacher because she does it perfectly every time. I'm blessed to have these lovely 2 people. We have Bill in the back. We'll be adding some more people on our core council, Charles as well. And she doubles down, and she's not leaving because she's a practitioner. So we get to keep her around and use her beautiful love as well. So enjoy her. I don't want to say use your love, but enjoy your love. Did you want to add anything, Marina?
Just that Sue has been a joy to work with for the last, I've been present for the last 5 years of her 6. And she's steadfast and honorable and has great ideas and is really steps into her job and way beyond. She's contributed greatly. We're going to miss you terribly.
These are yours as well. I almost forgot, but I don't know if can you hold them or you want me to keep them up here for you? Yep. So these are yours as well. Okay. All right. Let's give her another round of applause, please. Thank you, Maria. Good.
Such a pleasure to serve.
And consider that yourselves. The more you get involved, the more you feel the love, the more you make new friends, and have experiences that just can't be beat. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to move into our offering, and thank you, Sue Fulmer. Everybody see her name at home. One of the things that is important to make our dream a necessity is to make sure that we can financially afford that. So your contributions of tithing, of giving whatever you can, understand that we use this very, very consciously. Matter of fact, we have our money making us money as we wait for our perfect new location. We are in the process of looking for it. We'll go into that later. These are the many ways that you can contribute, including, now that you're here in person, the envelopes on the seats. Also on the envelopes, I want to point out the opportunity to either ask for prayer support and or share a testimonial with us. That's always appreciated as well. We should have our blessing. There we go. So we're going to have our affirmation. We're going to say it together, and then we're going to have some time where we can, if you're in person, give your offering over to our offering bowl on my right, your left. If you've already given online or whatnot, that's fine. It's a good time to just bless what is being given. And we practice the law of giving and receiving. There are affirmation cards all around the bowl. So as you give, you receive one. Practice that. It's a spiritual practice. And when you believe you're done with the lesson, share it with somebody else. So let us say this together. I am overflowing with love and abundance. I give from the source of my being, which is rich and unlimited. I share from the, joy and excitement. I share from this overflow. In return, the universe gives back to me in infinite ways, channels, and means, and so it is. Let us hit a little ditty from Ellen while we go ahead and do our offering time. You want a whole song? You can do it. Just understand that you can get up and move around while he's singing.
Yeah, that's the idea. So I just took a class, and I'll be doggone. They wanted you to pay attention in it, so I tried. And then you had to turn in a project or something at the end of it, and I don't know, didn't know about that. So it was the class that we have here, and just I guess the whole idea was just to show that you get it. So this is what I get. I know that there is just one God, and I am grateful. I know that I am one of this God, and I am grateful. It's such a joy to understand what I finally know. I am one with the great I am, and I am grateful. I know this road will lead me home, no matter where I go. With love and grace I carry on. There's one thing I know. I am grateful. So I say to all who hear, you are not alone. Be still and know your truth inside. Then you'll find your home. But one thing you need to know, be grateful. It's such a joy to understand what I finally know, that I am one with the great I am, and I am grateful. With gratitude I sing this song, for deep inside I know the power of the words I speak, so I let them go. And I am grateful.
Round of applause for that. I am grateful to have you with us. Let's turn our attention to our offerings and recognize that all is well. If you'd like, I'd like to extend my hands and just recognizing how the divine continues to flow and show up perfectly, that this life is perfect, whole, and complete. And so we're grateful for the offerings that we have here today that continue or support us and allow us to continue sharing this philosophy, this way of life with all who are willing to listen and partake, and just being able to bless this community with our presence, with our energy of love and joy. It does good work. We do good work. All is truly source and expression. God is good, and so it is. Thank you. And now our announcements from someone. I think that's you. Just trying to.
Welcome to the Sue Fulmer Show. Thank you, Joe. That was a great speech. Okay, no Zoom today since we are here in person. The next in-person service right here is on the 27th with Reverend Rachel, Embracing the Power of Regenerativity. Prayer requests. See these purple stoles? 3 of us are here today wearing them. We're available for prayer. In the back corner is our little prayer spot. If you would like prayer with a practitioner, please ask them and join them in prayer today. And anytime we're available online, you can find us on our website and just click on the picture of a practitioner and you'll get through to them in an email. And we will all pray. Annual meeting today. Please stay after we have some goodies to eat, and they look good over there. Those of you that are members or are interested in becoming members, in order to vote today, you have to be a member. I have sheets, commitment forms here, and I have a list of members. I need you to see me for a ballot, and then we'll turn those in at the annual meeting. April 20th on Zoom is Reverend Joe, don't miss it, Holistic Growth, No Quick Fixes, and Reverend Rachel here in person. It's a new day, Alan.
Got me? The topic of membership, I understand, can be, what's the word I'm looking for? A triggering point. So understand that in order to be a member, other than signing up, it just allows you to vote. There's no, how would I say, backstory to that. There's nothing that's going to be asked of you. And I say this because people have talked to me about being members of other places and religions and faiths. So for us, it just allows us to recognize a base. You don't have to be. We don't want to feel you are being forced to become a member, but it does give you the privilege to vote, which means you're really kind of an integral part of making the decisions of what is best and highest for our center. If you have any questions, talk to me after the service, please. Our closing song.
Yep, it's a new day. You want to stand up and we'll dance out. It's a new day. Today it's a new life. My way, The doubts, they are no match for me. I take my faith and fly because I know that I am creating my own destiny. The past is gone, it has no power here. I'm a mighty force in spirit's atmosphere. So I choose to grow, yes, I choose to thrive. Longing will not be denied. It's a new day, today it's a new life. My way, the clouds, they are no match for me. I take my faith and fly because I know that I am creating my own destiny. Right here, right now, I claim that I am whole. There is nothing else that I need to know. So I affirm my worth, I'm deserving of the feeling you're mounting in love. It's a new day, today it's a new life. My way, these doubts, they are no match for me. I take my faith and fly because I know that I am creating my own destiny. As I believe it, so it will be. See you in 30 minutes.